Hey there guys, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys have been having a fantastic weekend so far. So we have a DC news roundup here. We're going to be diving into some DCU news, and let's just see what we can get into here. Lots of different pieces of information coming out, rumors, theories, speculations, and all this kind of good stuff here with DC content. So let's get into it, let's break it down, and let's see what we can learn about what's going on with the latest in the DCU. So this comes to us from Comic Book Movie. So DCU rumor roundup, Mr. Freeze in the Batman sequel, and Wonder Woman casting and more. I mean, those two things there are pretty massive. I mean, having Mr. Freeze in that kind of grounded Matt Reeves, Robert Pattinson Batman universe, how would they even approach what a Mr. Freeze would look like? I'd be interested to see a very realistic take on a Mr. Freeze character in that universe. But if it's done right, it could be something really, really damn cool, because Mr. Freeze is such a compelling Batman character. And also the Wonder Woman casting, obviously one of the most important figures in the Trinity inside the DCU. So, you know, they're going to have to nail the casting of Wonder Woman. Absolutely. It's going to be curious to see who lands that role. So, going down, let's take a look at this information. So, with the DCU still very much in its infancy, there are bound to be rumors relating to a number of upcoming projects doing the rounds. And the recent news that Matt Reeves, the Batman sequel, has been delayed by a full year has prompted a whole new wave of speculation about what James Gunn and Peter Safran might have in store for The Dark Knight. Yeah, that recent news that the movie, The Batman, has been pushed back another whole year, and it's 5 years between Batman Part 1 and Part 2. I mean, it's literally killing fans, and people are beginning to get very frustrated and annoyed. But people are still holding on. The backlash hasn't gone full backlash yet. But if they delay the movie even further, then I fear that the fans will begin to turn on DC for that. So, the recent penultimate episode of Commandos gave us our first glimpse of the animated take on the DCU's Batman. I made a video about that a few days ago, guys. Jump into the comments. If you take a look at the description down below, I've made a video breaking down the first appearance of the Batman in Creature Commandos. So, check that out, guys, if you're interested in the first appearance of the Dark Knight in that episode of Creature Commandos. Information there in that video for you. So, but people seem to be reading way too much into what is almost certainly a generic placeholder silhouette of the character. Yeah, that probably is what's going on. I mean, you look at the Batman there. I mean, you can't make out much as a silhouette. He looks like quite a beefy character, but James Gunn has talked about that he made the character silhouetted in that episode of Creature Commandos so that he didn't have to commit to any kind of designs at the moment. They haven't finalized the design of the Batman, and you know, having him silhouetted kind of gets around that problem of committing to a design that, you know, maybe he doesn't want at the moment, James Gunn. So, though Gunn insists that a new actor will be cast as the Cape Crusader in The Brave and the Bold, Jeff Snyder is still adamant that the Guardians of the Galaxy director would prefer to fold Reeves' Batverse into the begoing cinematic universe and have Robert Pattinson stay on as the DCU's Batman. I mean, I don't know what to say about that hasn't already been said. I mean, there's all these rumors, speculation, and talk about that James Gunn now wants Robert Pattinson's Batman to come over and join the DCU with David Corenswet's Superman. James Gunn hasn't confirmed that. The studio, DC, hasn't confirmed that. So until that's confirmed by either James Gunn or a representative of DC Studios, I don't think it's going to happen, personally. The tone of Matt Reeves' The Batman and James Gunn's Superman movie, the two tones are completely vastly different. I don't see them fitting together. I don't see them joining personally. But then again, it could happen. Crazier things have happened in cinematic universes. But at the moment, I just don't see that happening. As for Reeves' long-awaited sequel, Snyder believes that there could be some truth to the rumor that Mr. Freeze will be in the movie's villain, which might tie into the winter setting. Yeah, we've heard that as well. A lot of fan theories, speculation. There's rumors going around online now for quite a long time saying that the Batman Part 2 is going to have a winter setting. You know, so all of that kind of stuff. So obviously, Mr. Freeze would play into that winter kind of motif if they decided to go that route. How this type of character would be integrated into a relatively grounded world of the Batman is anyone's guess. Yeah, like I was saying at the beginning of the video, I mean, it's a really realistic, grounded, kind of gritty version of the Batman mythology. They did the same thing with Penguin. Very, very realistic, very gritty crime saga type of universe. How do you fit a Mr. Freeze into that kind of tone of universe? I mean, how do you do that without it coming off silly, campy, and goofy? I'm really not sure, but if they could figure out a way, like, to scientifically explain Mr. Freeze and kind of his powers and his origin and, you know, why he is the way he is, then it could be something really, really compelling. If it's based on real world science and real world kind of physics, but how they would navigate around that is anyone's guess. But it would be more, it would be no more out there than introducing Clayface, who has also been rumored. Yeah, but the Clayface movie, I believe, takes place in the DC universe, right? With Superman and all those kind of fantastical elements of the DC universe. It doesn't take place in the Matt Reeves Batman universe. As far as I know, Clayface is part of the DCU, not Matt Reeves Batman universe. I could be wrong, but that's as far as I know. It's part of the DC universe. One character we haven't heard much about since the initial DCU slate announcement is Wonder Woman. There was a lot of talk about Gal Gadot still continuing on as Wonder Woman, but I don't think that's going to be happening ultimately. And there's been no movement on the Themyscira-based Paradise Lost series. Gal Gadot is highly unlikely to return, like I was just saying, and even though we're probably still a long way off from a new take on Diana making her debut, is there a chance Gunn and co have been quietly searching for a new actress to take on her role? Absolutely. They've either discussed it, interviewed, screen tested. They've had some internal discussions over at DC regarding Wonder Woman. She's such an important character. One of the pillars of the Trinity, obviously Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, three of the most important characters that you have in the DC canon. So of course they've discussed, you know, who could potentially play her. I'm sure they've got an idea. They may have already cast someone. We just don't know. But it's interesting to think about who potentially could be playing that very important role of Diana Prince. Okay, so quietly searching for a new actress to take on the role. So Snyder says that a movie star reached out to ask if he knew anything about this. Snyder says that a movie star, quote, movie star, reached out to ask if he knew anything about this. Ashley had heard that casting might already be underway. We're not reading too much into this one, as it's something the trades would likely have picked up on by now. Yeah, I mean, if there was any sort of whiff of casting news to do with Wonder Woman, like I say, because she's such an important character in the DCU canon, it would be all over the trades. It would be everywhere by now. So I'm sure as soon as any movement happens on that casting for Wonder Woman, we'll hear about it pretty damn quickly, I would imagine. So moving on to Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, the recent news that Jason Momoa has been confirmed to make his debut as Lobo. Again, massive news. Jason Momoa as Lobo. He's going to kill it. According to My Time to Shine Hello, for those of you who may not know, it's a movie social media scooper who gets a lot of movie information right, breaks a lot of stories, but sometimes gets things wrong, so take it with a grain of salt when this person talks about movie news. So My Time to Shine Hello says the former Aquaman star is only expected to film for a few weeks, meaning his role is likely to be minor, but more than a cameo. Cameras are scheduled to roll later this month. So he's likely to have, you know, a supporting role, but it's not going to be too massive, it's not going to be too little at the same time. So it's going to be somewhere kind of in the middle, but don't expect him to be in a large part of the movie, Jason Momoa as Lobo. So the main villain will be Creme of the Yellow Hills, played by Matthias, I have no idea how you say that, played by Matthias from the Old Guard, but Alexander Skarsgård from The Northman was reportedly DC Studios' first choice for the role. The Skarsgård family, man, they can do no wrong as far as I'm concerned. They're just so talented, that family of people. Wow. So the Scooper has also heard that the Clayface movie is being fast-tracked, with a director expected to be assigned very soon for a late January, early February production start. So yeah, Clayface could be filming at the same time that Supergirl is filming as well. I mean, they're moving fast on this Clayface movie, and it's got around about a $40 million production budget, from what I read in other reports. And I'm very, very excited to see what they do with this. Like a gritty, dark, body horror thriller take on the Clayface movie would be something really special, I think. And finally, and this isn't exactly a rumor, but not really substantially enough to write its own article, Gunn has confirmed the events of Creature Commandos will have some impact on both Peacemaker Season 2 and The Lantern Show. So, someone said this: will the events of Creature Commandos have an impact on the events of Peacemaker and Lanterns? And James Gunn put yes. Obviously, it's an all-connected universe. Remember, Creature Commandos, even though it's an animated DC show, it's still set within the DC universe. It's all connected. Those characters are also going to be appearing in live action. They just decided to go animation. Even though it's animated, it's still directly connected to everything that's happening in the DC universe, with David Corenswet Superman and all of those characters in that movie. The Supergirl, Millie Alcock Supergirl, Creature Commandos is all connected, all part of the same universe, all characters interacting together. So whatever happened in Creature Commandos will have a knock-on effect to Peacemaker, Supergirl, Superman, everything going on in the DC universe. So that's pretty much our kind of roundup there, guys. Talking about lots of different things. So we kind of discussed, you know, the Batman Part 2. We discussed Mr. Freeze. We discussed Wonder Woman 2. Wonder Woman, not Wonder Woman 2. Wonder Woman, I should say. We've discussed a bit of the Lobo movie, Clayface, and ultimately talking about the knock-on effect from Creature Commandos. So guys, jump into the comment section, let me know what piece of information stood out to you. Are you excited for the DC Universe going forward? And ultimately, how do you feel about the production of the Batman Part 2 being postponed by another year? A lot of information here, guys, but let me know what stood out to you and your thoughts and theories and speculation about what's going on with DC news at the moment. I'd love to hear your input, guys, so make sure you drop that down below in the comment section. As always, thank you so much for being here. Be sure to hit that like and become a subscriber. I'd really appreciate that. It goes a long way to supporting the content. And as always, I will see you in the next video.